2016 NBA Finals. Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 7. 2 minutes to go. And LeBron James with an amazing block on Andre Iguodala. And we have a tight game. And then Kyrie Irving with the ball on Steph Curry. And he goes for a three and makes it. And that's history. Cleveland Cavaliers have won the 2016 NBA Finals. Wow, it is one of the greatest upset in NBA history where a team lost for the first time after being up 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Wow, that was crazy. But then, 2016, July 1st, another crazy event took place. Kevin freaking Durant chose to go to Golden State Warriors. And we all know how that turned out. Back to back NBA Finals champions, back to back Finals MVP for Kevin Durant. But today we're going to talk about the other side of the coin. What happened to Oklahoma City and how they came back from that gut punch from Kevin Durant. OKC is a very small market. We all know that. And for small market teams to get a superstar from free agency, it's a little tight. So, luckily, they had one other superstar named Russell Westbrook. And they definitely had to depend on him for the first season once Kevin Durant left. The first season, Russell Westbrook put the team on his back and willed them to the playoffs. He averaged a freaking triple double. That was amazing. That has never been done before except maybe by Will Chamberlain. Russell Westbrook was the talk of the town. Every broadcaster, every sports analyst was talking about him, and they were just amazed at what he was doing and at this amazing rate, averaging a triple double, especially being a point guard at his height. Wow, that is just amazing. And if you just think about it, like especially after Kevin Durant left, the fan base would have been just disillusioned. I'm like, they'll be like, what the hell is going to happen? Is Westbrook also going to leave? We are a small market team. Nobody actually stays with us. But Russell Westbrook answered all of those questions by showing his grit, his amazing ability, his God given gift, talent, and willed Oklahoma City to the playoffs. And yeah, they ran into Houston Rockets, which was a better team, and they lost against them, which was expected, but this was very important. The first year where they laid the foundation, they had a clear, amazing star who won the MVP right on that year, Russell Westbrook, and they had something to build on. So now, the next year, the onus was on the front office to actually make some moves, make sure they answer Russell Westbrook's effort. And boy, they did. They exchanged Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis with Indiana for Paul George. And they also got Carmelo Anthony. Wow, that was a freaking super team. And everybody was so super hyped about them that now Russell Westbrook has two amazing stars along with him, and this is going to be just amazing. But it didn't turn out that way. For the entire season, Russell, Paul George, and Carmelo failed to develop chemistry. Carmelo Anthony was just not able to stay with the front five. He was just struggling. The new NBA basically just passed him. For Paul George, he was hot one night, not so good another night. He was really struggling. After the playoffs, we all came to know that Paul George had this shoulder injury that he was playing through, and Russell Westbrook was still Russell Westbrook. He was still averaging a triple double. He was playing amazing. But again, in the first round of the playoffs, they came across Utah Jazz, and as Utah Jazz was a better team, they lost. So, how would you define this season? Well, everybody was saying that it was all because of Russell Westbrook. He was just hogging the ball. He was not basically passing it to Paul George or Carmelo Anthony. No, 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 no. Problem was with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, yeah, I think he just didn't belong in the starting five for OKC. For Paul George, he was shooting a lot, but he was taking many contested shots, and there were a lot of times where Russell Westbrook and Paul George were not on the same page. And chemistry takes time. Like, it's not as simple as Kevin Durant going to Golden State Warriors and fitting in right there, winning the championship the next year. It's not as easy everywhere. So, yeah. And the other thing was, Paul George was a free agent the next year. So, uh, I don't think Russell Westbrook had developed that trust. He was not sure that is this just a 1 year thing or is it something more? He was just not sure. It was basically a gamble by the front office uh, the previous year, and now it was basically judgment time. OKC had lost in the first round of the playoffs, so it was not a very good sign per se. So this was going to be tricky. And then it happened on July 1st. Paul George agreed to a 4 year deal with Oklahoma City Thunder. And he even took a pay cut. Mind blown. This doesn't happen to small town teams, small market teams. Oh my god. With this much interest from Los Angeles Lakers and all the other big markets, Paul George decided to duke it out together with Russell Westbrook for a championship. Wow. This was this was the perfect fruit for what Russell Westbrook and the OKC front office did, and this was a perfect ending. And you just appreciate it more when small market teams like OKC get like another superstar, and now they are together for the foreseeable future, and they now can plan and build a team around them. This is so amazing. Wow. And the front office was not sitting behind. They traded Carmelo Anthony for Dennis Schroeder, which was the perfect sixth man uh, off the bench for Oklahoma City. Uh, and then 2018 was right there.
So as soon as the regular season started, Oklahoma City was playing real fast. Uh, all the players were utilizing their length and athleticism. They were playing amazing defense. Russ and PG were playing really well together. You could just see they have worked on their chemistry in the off season, and this actually happened for like around 10 to 12 games, and then something interesting happened. Uh, I don't know, maybe Russ and PG talked about this, or maybe the coach, like they sat down with the coach to see, hey, what can we do better? But basically, Russ was averaging a triple double, anyways, and the amount of shots he was taking was always just crazy. But it was basically Russ toned down on the number of shots he's taking and focused on the assists and the rebounds. He was still averaging a triple double, but the number of assists and rebounds were actually getting higher, and the number of points were right in between 10 to 20. And that kind of enabled his teammates to be better, especially Paul George, who is having a amazing MVP season. And you could just see like what that did to Paul George's confidence as well, because we all know he had a gruesome injury like a couple of years back, and now seeing him having this amazing season is just great. And you could just see Russ actually sacrificing that so that his teammates, his best teammate, is actually having a very good season. So this is just amazing, and they have evolved into a very beautiful team. They still have lapses, like we still have Russ making interesting decisions, especially when the game is really close. So, but yeah, I think they have evolved into a very good team, and especially being in the top five of the NBA standings, I think they're in a very good spot, and they can actually really make noise in the NBA playoffs. So yeah, it was a very interesting 3 year journey, and I'm really happy that like a small market team like OKC is still able to maintain this level, and it is all thanks to Russell Westbrook that they were still able to remain uh, normal. They were able to maintain that amazing play, and also thanks to Paul George for actually signing with the Oklahoma City for 4 years. That's just amazing. That doesn't happen for a small market team. And kudos to the front office as well, because they kept on gambling, they kept on making sure they take care of their players. And right now we have just like one amazing team to reckon with. And my prediction is that OKC reaches all the way to the finals, uh, the conference finals, I mean, because it's tough to bet against Golden State right now. But I hope it's a very interesting series and it goes all the way to game seven, and then whoever is playing well wins. But this is a great success story that I just wanted to share with you guys, and it's just amazing they are still right there where they were like 3 years back, with basically Paul George replacing Kevin Durant. So this is really awesome. Thank you, Russell Westbrook. Thank you, OKC. Thank you, Paul George.